Okay, today I'm so excited. I have Carol Lloyd here. She is the head coach of the University of Memphis dance team. She also runs the programs at Collierville High School and Collierville Middle. She knows so much about choreography and coaching and has just a wealth of knowledge in so many different areas related to dance teams. So I am so excited for this interview. Can't wait till she joins us. Okay, so this question is from Ashley. She wants to know what suggestions you have to inspire dancers to fully commit to a collegiate level dance team. She said not just dancing to workouts, but fundraising, fitness activities. Basically, it sounds like she just has girls that want to wear the uniform and be real cute.
Oh, that's always nice.
So
those are always the fun ones to deal with. Right. My team is involved in everything at the university and community. I always try to say that it's not just about the dancing, because a lot of people want to be on a college team to put on the uniform or just to be in nationals. And that always has to be the last thing. Even though in your mind, I'm like, oh gosh, I really want you on the floor. But at the same time, if you can't make your grades and you can't dedicate your time to appearances, or you're not even putting in 100% and you've got other girls that are, then it's really not for you. Because I think every level of college dance teams is still the same when it comes to what you represent. Right. And it doesn't matter whether you're competitive or if you're not, but it's a lot. It's a chore. I mean, it really is hard. It's major dedication, and it is your job. Whether there's scholarships involved, like the majority, 90% of schools do not have scholarships. So it's very hard to motivate the kids when you don't have any money involved and you're trying to get their time. But also I think that it could still be, it's still a tool when they go out into the community after college.
Do you lay it all out in the code of conduct or in a
yes
or
yes
kind of thing?
I lay it all out. Okay. Our contract has everything from appearances to the way you looked at tryouts to your grades to games. You have to sign it. I mean, once they sign it, and if you don't want to be a part of it, I mean, our people have to, if they quit in the middle of the year, they're required to pay back part of their scholarship if they receive scholarship.
Perfect.
Because I just think that I always tell her, it's your job. You signed up to do this. You want to be part of our program. So to be part of our program, this is everything that's involved. It's not just about dancing at nationals.
Right.
We do everything. And you're ambassadors for the university. That's the main thing.
All right, Ashley, that's got to answer your question. Lay it all out in the beginning.
Well, you have to, I think. You have to.
Yeah.
You got to tell them this is like it is. And if you don't like it, then you don't need to be part of our program. That's not for you.
Exactly. And I'm sure your leaders help. You probably have strong captains that
yes. And they also, they do a list of, palm etiquette. That's what we call it. Duh. It's palm etiquette. And it's like 6 pages long, but it's stuff that it's everything from don't ask Carol this, come to us first about this. If you have a question about this is what this is supposed to do. When it's regards to a game, this is what you do. Appearance, this is what you do. Community service, everything etiquette that you would need. Yeah.
They came up with that themselves.
Just because there's so many things that, us as coaches, I'm not going to handle that. I don't care. Like that, you're grown. What makes me good is not me. It's my captains and it's my leaders on all of my teams from whatever age all the way through college. You know that you couldn't get anything done if you didn't have, people that work with you on a daily basis, and it's just part of delegating.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos to them.
Yeah. Hey, it works. They're like, refer to page 5, appendix 2. Then get back to us.
Nice. Okay, let's ask the second question. This one's from Andy. She says, how do you keep a high school program competitive with regards to technique when there isn't a really good middle school feeder program? She said the middle school program isn't willing to take any of her suggestions. It feels like starting over every year.
Okay, that's hard because there's so many middle schools that are not competitive.
Right.
So as far as technique, I would suggest if the middle school is not going to be open to doing any kind of classes or anything like that, what if, as a coach, why don't you try and hold classes?
Yeah.
Find a gym, find a church, find a studio that'll let you rent space.
Amen.
And kind of like prep clinics. You don't have to charge very much, just something to get them, because that's hard coming into the high school, and if they don't know what a pirouette is or how to even point their foot or straighten their knee or pull up and releve, even something that's just teaching them the basic, ballet terms,
right,
and dance team terms that you need to know. And then as far as on the high school level, once you're competing and the technique's not good, say it's current team's already chosen, right. I always stick to what my teams can do. Or if I'm doing choreography for someone and they're like, we have 10 triple pirouettes and we can do this and we've got great jumpers, and you get there and you're like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. I don't know who you were looking at, but that's not what you have. And you can put that in there if you want. But me as a choreographer and coach, I think it's fair to the kids to obviously push the envelope and let them and challenge them. But also that's where as a coach, you got to kind of back off of it and go, okay, obviously they can't do this. But I usually just would strictly stay with your team's boundaries. There's nothing worse than seeing a team that cannot do technique and they try to put it on the floor because you're only hurting yourself, right, and all those execution points if you can't do it.
And it's because I always see coaches, doing, I call it the hope and pray method.
Yes.
You're just like, oh, please hit it. Well, that didn't hit in practice.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
It didn't.
No, it didn't. And it's like that one girl's off. Yeah, she was off last week too when you did it. She was actually off in warm up too. It's not a fluke thing. It's off. Yeah, I would suggest you change it. But I think that though is what makes us better coaches too. For the middle schoolers, definitely if the coach is not going to do anything, I would for sure try to set up outside things and just advertise it as, prep clinic. And even if it's flexibility class.
Oh, that's a good one.
However you want to make your program better, you go for it. If it means making prep clinics, making private lessons, do private lessons. Those kids love that kind of thing. It depends on where you are, but kids love that kind of thing. And if they're getting any kind of special attention, and especially if it's going to make Sally's mom happy that their daughter has a better chance at making the high school, then go for it.
Yeah, agreed. That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some good suggestions. Mandy, kill it.
Kill it, Mandy.
Okay, last one. I didn't know if we would get to this one, but we'll ask it anyway.
Okay.
So this is from Ursula, and she said that her dance team's under new leadership, which I'm assuming is her, and the team hasn't had the best reputation. What would you suggest? What are your top 3 steps? Top 3 things that she should change first coming in.
I think you need to, from the beginning, just set the boundaries from the beginning. That this is, if we're speaking, if you're the new leadership, then it's your program. You set the guidelines, you set the rules for how you want things to happen. So I think from the very beginning, if you set the standard, get some rules that you're going to go by, and be honest with them too. I think if it was me going into a program, I would first say, okay, look, I've heard a lot of things about this program. There's a lot of really good things, but there's also some things that could really make or break you. So I'm here to change it. And this is what I expect from you as far as attitude, as far as the way that you act, in and out of uniform, and just thinking about who you're representing and things like that. And I think if they know that from the beginning and that you will not tolerate it, you won't have any problems. Yeah. But also though, you gotta follow up. You have to follow up and hold them accountable.
Yeah, that's huge.
Totally hold them accountable. The first time something happens, whether it's a demerit, whether they sit out a ball game, whatever kind of consequences you want to have. I can't really say punishment, because when you say the word punishment on the middle school level to the high school level, it can be taken in so many different directions. And I've had things come up when I've said, "Oh, you're going to have a punishment." Well, I don't mean that. I don't mean like you're going to get spanked or whatever, but you have consequences.
Yeah.
Right. If you if you do things against these rules and what I want you to do, this is what's going to happen. And I think you learn by it, and the others on the team will learn also.
Right. And I feel like she can't be afraid to lose people along the way. If you wind up having 8 girls at the end of the day, those are your most dedicated girls.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, because there's so many people, newer coaches now, that they want their program to be like everybody else's. My
Yeah.
kids are late. If my kids wear the wrong thing to practice, they do jumps.
Exactly.
If they wear both outfits wrong, they do jumps. If they're late, they run. There's consequences to everything. So I think from the beginning, if you just set those things up from the beginning, they're going to follow. And if they don't, then they don't need to be there.
Goodbye. And I think
Goodbye.
That's good advice. I think that's really good advice because we both have had experience coming in and taking over a program and trying to make it happen. And it's like,
and it's hard to do.
It's a struggle at first, but then it smooths out because they start to understand you and figure out what your expectations are. But if that's fuzzy, you can forget about it.
Exactly. And if they either like it or they don't. And I think that's where, as a coach, you've got to learn to be personable with them also, and like down to earth and really relate to them. But at the same time, you've got to like set the standard and go, this is what we're going to do. So if you don't like it, then this isn't for you. Come visit anytime you want, but don't be part of my program.
And on the high school, middle school level, do you let the parents know what those expectations are too?
Yes.
Along with the kid? Okay.
We do that. We do that in a parent meeting. But, once in the first couple of years, you kind of have to keep saying your rules and keep going over things. But as your program evolves and gets older, all the veteran parents, those people learn from it. They learn, okay, well, if you're going to be part of her, if you want to go dance for her, this is what's going to happen. There's parents that don't come back. Oh, well.
What are you
Bye, Felicia.
Right. So,
bye, Felicia.
Goodbye. Like, you don't need the stress, and, your team's going to be better without that. So,
exactly. It's just a bad apple.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at T.R.A. Choreo and check out our website, www.toyarenee.com.